Welcome to Rocky Like a Hurricane Runner. It is a special episode. Of course, my name's Simon Tackler. My co-host, Owen Jones. Owen, how's it going?
I'm very good. I'm very happy over the G1 results over the weekend just gone.
Yep, very relevant to bring that up because this is our Japanese theme music special.
Yes.
And we've got two special guests.
We do. Two of my very good friends, two people who I've been to Japan with and watched wrestling in Japan. And they're two Japanese wrestling aficionados. We have Sean Hawkins and Joel Bateman of Melbourne Wrestling fame. How are we, friends?
That's our fucking intro. They went to Japan with me, so I brought them on the... Fuck you! Talk happy about the G... No, we'll get to the G1, motherfucker.
You're lucky he's sitting on the other side of the desk from you.
Oh yeah, geez. Returning guest to the podcast, Sean Fuckface Hawkins.
Yes.
There's probably children listening, Owen, so I'm not going to say what I want to say.
So, before we get to the theme music showdown, we are going to go and try and rank things in a top 5 or
it's
a top 10.
It's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it is going to be a big one. So before we get to that, let's get to the wrestling part. Of course, one of the biggest events in Japanese wrestling, one of the biggest wrestling events of the year happened.
Yep.
It all wrapped up, the G1 climax.
Yes, it did. And Hiroshi Tanahashi beat Kota Ibushi in the final, much to the enjoyment of me and the dismay of Sean Hawkins.
Yeah, it was all right.
But no, it's all seriousness though. Like that month of wrestling is like my favorite month of the year.
You get to a point and you get depressed after the G1
because there's no wrestling every night.
Yeah, I've been watching wrestling nearly every night, and there've been fresh matches, and there's been good stuff happening. And Yano Tori's been on my TV every night, and it's the best. And now there's nothing until King of DDT, which is like next week. So you know.
There's a couple of things on this week. I'm sorry.
Oh, we'll get to that. But
is this coming out before that or after?
This is coming out on Friday, so we can talk about Tetsuya Naito being at MCW 100 tomorrow. Technically tomorrow, if you're listening to this right now.
Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre in Albert Park. Tickets are still available. Head down. It's going to be great.
Exactly. But if we're going to talk about G1, we have to talk about the original Wrestle Dad, Tomohiro Ishii.
He's not part of the New Japan Dads.
He just looks like a grumpy dad all the time, and he just beats the shit out of people. So it makes me very happy.
MVP of the entire
easily
tournament.
the MVP. His match against Kenny Omega was honestly so violent it hurt to watch.
He had decent matches with everybody in B block.
Yeah,
and that's the big, indicator that his path now to Wrestle Kingdom 13 is probably going to be all title matches.
Well, yeah, he beat every singles title holder, which is obviously no one else did. He is, as you said, everything is laid out in front of him until mid-January. Will
he win any titles, or is he just a strong challenger for everyone?
He's just a strong challenger. Like, he's the legitimate hard man.
He's the Arn Anderson of Jim Crockett Promotions. He's the policeman, the guy before every title match that particular challenger needs to go through.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, but how about you, Simon? Because I know you had a very strategic way of watching the G1.
This was the first year in a while where I just couldn't catch up. I couldn't watch it day to day, and I had no time.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to pick one wrestler and just watch their matches. It was almost like following a sports team. I picked Ibushi.
Look, it's a good pick
because he had a good story going in,
and all of his matches were.
His matches are going to be good.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I was disappointed that he didn't win the final. Yeah. I thought it was fine. Okay, whatever. Tanahashi won again.
Yes.
Even though it felt like the obvious story was there with Ibushi. It was really good. That's all I can say. The matches were really good, and I don't know what is going to happen with him now. Actually, the only other match I watched was Okada and Tanahashi because you were going on about it.
And it was that good.
And it was very, very good.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, because I was seeing highlights and I saw what Okada was doing. His character work was really interesting, sort of like this midlife crisis. What happens when you're the best guy and you don't know what to do anymore because you don't have the belt. And it was very entertaining.
Definitely.
And that match was fucking
good. Do you
good.
think it was better than the first tournament draw, though, between the two?
No.
Okay.
But that's purely subjective.
Yeah.
Like, looking at all of the matches they have, I think people's favourites are always going to be different because each of them have something different.
Yeah.
But for me, the kind of biggest thing to take away from especially those last three Nippon Budokan shows was, I honestly believe that the best match of the entire weekend was Kota versus Kenny.
Yep.
That match was nuts.
It was everything everyone expected and wanted, and more.
Without the balcony dive.
Yeah.
Which I think, it's 6 years later. He's a little bit more grown up. But that was just two guys who beat the fuck out of each other and then had a wrestling match. But I think that match was better than the Tanahashi-Ibushi final.
Okay.
Because there was no potential of wigs falling off.
I actually preferred Tana and Ibushi to Kenny and Ibushi.
Okay.
Maybe because I watched their two older matches a few weeks ago, just because I hadn't seen them since they basically happened.
Yeah.
So I felt like that sort of, I don't know what my expectations were. Like, it was still definitely very, very good. But I don't know what I was expecting with Ibushi and Kenny. But it was damn good.
I think what I love most about the final was sneaky Shibata just popping out with Tana. It was very, very cool.
To me, that's kind of really interesting from a historical point. Because I've been reading Chris Charlton, who did really, really good commentary.
I loved him on
He
commentary.
was a revelation this year's G1.
He was great.
They need to hire him.
Him and Rocky on commentary. I love Rocky Romero on commentary. He was brilliant.
Yeah, that three-man team on the final night of Kevin Kelly, Rocky, and Chris Charlton, fantastic. But yeah, Chris Charlton's book, Lion's Pride, which is like the history of New Japan pro wrestling, and like talking about kind of the almost decline through Inokiism into the rebirth with Tanahashi and stuff. And it goes into detail about the fact that when Shibata left, Tanahashi was pissed. Like, he was like, no, fuck you. You've turned your back on this. I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Then they had that great match, was it 2 or 3 years ago? Where
it was 2 years ago in the G1.
Yeah.
And it was the culmination of all this heat that these guys had, this very public dislike for one another, and they beat the dog shit out of one another.
Yeah. And so like that kind of wraps it in a nice bow that now Tanahashi has the man who he once hated as his corner man, which was nice and beautiful.
It was lovely.
Can I just say, on the commentary thing, I don't know if it's a hot take or not. I wasn't following what people thought on Twitter. But this team was so much better without Don Callis. I honestly, hearing it without him, the other guys, especially Kevin Kelly, has more room to shine, and he comes across better.
I like Don Callis on commentary, but I have seen a lot of, and you hear it anyway, he likes to make it about himself on commentary, which is
fine, though. You can be a character and put yourself over or whatever.
He does
and
it
I
too
like him
much
as a guest
sometimes.
and a podcast host or whatever, but I think on commentary it was starting to get a little
Rocky
too
Romero
much.
was incredible.
Rocky's really entertaining.
He can commentate for as long as he wants. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, and that's like especially during a lot of the Switchblade matches, because that was a nice little story throughout the kind of tags throughout when it was Jay teaming with either Sho or Yo.
Yeah.
And Rocky just getting increasingly mad as the tournament goes on, because he's like, stop doing that. You're not doing that to my boys. Like, they're good Christian boys. Stop doing that.
Also, two boys who they haven't really been on much programming recently, and they are just stacked with muscle. Sho and Yo, those two have just come from like when they first came back as young, like from their excursion this time last year, and they were little super like junior heavyweights, and now they're just like stacked with muscle.
Who's the really jacked one? There's the one who's like really tanned and
Sho?
super ripped now. He looks ridiculous. What the hell happened to him?
Do we also want to talk about the probably best part of this entire G1, the C block? The C block between Toa Hanare and David Finlay was...
I loved it.
Was fantastic. But to get that final ripped from us because of Jado's injury was quite disheartening. But big props to Dave Finlay for getting that C block trophy.
Give a little thumbs up
trophy.
Yeah. It was very good.
He needs to defend it now.
He has to.
Opening match of every main show now, I expect a C block title defense.
Love it.
Okay, so do we just end it there? I actually thought more people were going to be annoyed that Tanahashi won.
Oh, I'm furious.
No, you should have seen our group chat. It was a blood feud going on in that group chat.
But Tanahashi did say in the press conference yesterday that he's like, okay, I only lost to 2 people. One was to Jay White, and I tied with Okada. So I need to go through them if I'm going to be the true challenger. So, at Destruction, one of the shows, it'll probably be against the Knife Pervert. And then at King of Pro Wrestling, the King of Pro Wrestling returns to his throne in the main event slot of Wrestle Kingdom 13, where we get Okada versus Omega 5. And Owen will cry.
In the stadium. Funny. I will. Oh, well, as long as I get to see Tanahashi wrestle again, I don't care. Anyway, this is going to... Look, listeners, strap yourself in. This could end in a bloodshed or necks breaking or anything. So this could be an absolute corker. Because me and Simon have done a couple of these before. The old list shows and the battles. We battle things out. But now we have 2 guests on. It could get very, very messy.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we're going to go through everyone's top 5 favourite Japanese wrestling entrance themes.
Yes.
And then we're going to debate them and somehow
rank them.
Agree to a ranked list.
Yes. So, my number 5, in recent months, I have been watching... Well, all I watch is Japanese wrestling mainly, but in recent months, I've been watching / forced to watch by these two. I've watched a lot of FMW. Like, lots of FMW. And my number 5 in my favourite Japanese wrestling themes. Yes, Sean?
I was just going to say, you should tell some of the people who might not know what FMW is. What FMW is.
No, I'm good.
I'll do it later, trust me.
My number 5 in my favourite Japanese wrestling themes is Megumi Kudo with flying fingers from... So yeah, Megumi Kudo, One Way Heart is... The best thing about Japanese wrestling themes from the 90s, it is pretty much just like Yngwie Malmsteen, like, just worship.
That's the big thing about all Japanese wrestling themes is it's so power metal-y.
It's just so beautiful.
Lots of sweeping guitars, lots of synths, and you know, they're basically a boss battle or the end credits of an anime. Like,
yeah. So pretty much Megumi Kudo has been a wrestler that Joel introduced. Joel introduced me to Megumi Kudo and her ridiculous electrified barbed wire rope matches and just some of the most stupid things I've seen done in a wrestling ring. But this entrance theme makes me want to like just run through a wall.
Yes.
It's very inspiring. Simon.
Nice. Okay, so I am going to put this out there. I've probably said it on previous shows, but I'll say it here. I only started really following, I guess, New Japan since 2011. So a lot of my themes are pretty recent. They're pretty, I don't know, mainstream choices, but I figure that's going to balance all you guys out. So I'm going to play that card. Mine are all really recent. So my number 5, I'm going with Will Ospreay's theme. I know he uses it other places, but I actually really like it.
It's a good choice.
He uses it, around the world. He's used it here at MCW. He will be using it here later this week, as we've said many times.
MCW 100, Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre, Albert Park. Buy tickets now.
Exactly. And every time it plays, I'm always like, man, I want to hear the whole thing. So I thought I'd actually listen to it in full last week. It's by a band called It Lives, It Breathes.
Yeah.
It's kind of cheesy, but in a good way. I like it. It's called Elevate.
It's very mid-2000s like WWE, which is I think is really cool.
Yeah, so now it stands out because it is that.
Yeah.
I like it.
They've done other covers as well. Like they did a Nakamura's WWE theme cover on Spotify, and it's just odd. But I'm like, it works.
Yeah, they seem to be genuine fans. I think they've been promoting that they'll be at that Blackcraft wrestling event that's happening. So, yeah, I guess that's cool. Maybe we'll have to get them on the show eventually.
Oh, and they've done a Metalingus Edge theme one, and
I know
how much you love that song.
They're all about the mid-2000s then, aren't
exactly,
they?
Yeah. It's just a vibe.
But yeah, that's my number 5.
Yes.
So we all had a chat earlier today and we went, how hipster as fuck is Sean and I going to go with our top 5 rankings? My number 5, I suppose, is kind of the first person I think of when I think Japanese wrestling as a whole, and it should be a surprise to no one. And I assume it's on. It's totally Hulk Hogan, Sean.
Fuck yeah!
He's
the king of New York.
The first time I heard this was on the first Nitro. My number 5 is
Man Called
Jushin
Sting.
Thunder Liger. And again, you were talking about all of us going to Japan. All of us tired and hungover from 3 days of drinking in Tokyo. it's the Rambo. Okay, no one cool is going to be in the Rambo. Liger!
Literally, the one time, like, as soon as, like, the three of us just, like, launched out of our seats, I'm pretty sure we showered some poor person with liquids that may have been
Zero.
water.
Yeah.
There was a guy next to us, and like,
Oh, that
when we
poor
popped,
bastard.
we'll get to what happened later on that night. My boy doesn't do jobs in the dome. But no, like, we've all popped for Liger, and he's starting to look at me and go, Liger? And I'm like, fuck yeah, Liger. And he's giving me a thumbs up as well. Instant best friends.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
Yeah, and that's the majesty that is Liger.
Yeah.
It brings people together.
Honestly, I think I've played this one on the show before. Like, he's used this song since 1989, and it does not get old. It's just the fucking best.
Did you see the stat that came out last month? I think it was what?
Last
200
month was the first time he hasn't wrestled at all. Like
since the late
he's-
80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like 240 something months.
Yeah.
Unbroken, at least one match per month.
Yeah, so good. I could listen to that song for ages.
He's been wearing some great shirts on the G1.
How good! The one he wore in the final was like it's like one of my dad's one. It was like a checkered button up one. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
He's just the best.
All right, my number 5.
Hello, Sean.
My number 5. We talk about hipster as fuck, and so I decided to go with a very, very recent new one, but it's been stuck in my brain every day for a while. And recently, Owen, you've become blessed with the majesty that is the Dramatic Dream Team, or DDT
I have
Pro Wrestling.
recently signed up to DDT World.
Universe?
DDT Universe, the online streaming service of DDT Pro Wrestling.
So, there's a lot of good themes in there. Dan Shukodino's theme is, funny.
Yes.
Takagi's Stone Cold ripoff with Scooter's Fire is even better.
Yeah.
But a song that I described to you as a legit banger.
Shoot banger.
Shoot banger. Yeah. Was Soma Takau's theme, Red Treason, because it's so ridiculously, like, hard dance. And you want to punch somebody in the face. The thing is, though, Soma Takau's a member of Damnation, who don't conform, don't kiss ass, and don't get married. They're like metalheads.
Yep.
And to have a guy who used to be a happy-go-lucky white meat babyface to then call himself the Bloody Crow and come out to dance music while joining the biggest metalhead stable in DDT is, to me, hilarious and such a juxtaposition that I just can't help but love this track.
It's just like super sick deep house music, which is something I don't usually listen to. But when I saw that, when you linked this to me last week and I saw it on DDT last week, I'm like, this is the coolest song ever.
It's the fucking best.
It is the best. Yeah. I'm all about it. I'm absolutely all about it.
But yeah, watch more DDT. It's great.
Yes.
Subscribe to DDT Universe.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
My next song is, again, one of quite possibly... I don't know. Every song I feel... Again, I'll say it again. Every song I've chosen is pretty much just guitar shredding, which I'm good with. But when people think of Glass Shatters, they always think of Steve Austin. Not this guy.
You son of a bitch.
He's done it already.
Keiji Muto, Trans Magic. I sent
me this. I like.
I sent this to Simon yesterday. I'm like, this is quite possibly the best song of all time.
So good.
I like it.
You could put the argument that 90%, if not all, of Muto's themes, though,
Have been the best.
are just amazing.
Was this the one that he walked out to at Wrestle One? I was trying to think of it. When we saw him at Wrestle One, was this the one he walked out to? I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, as you can tell, it's just guitar shredding. That's all I care about. And when the one that I love was at Wrestle Kingdom in like 2000, was when him and Chono tagged together at Wrestle Kingdom, and they came out to like a really cool remix of this. I think it was like Wrestle Kingdom 2006 or 7.
Yeah, or it might have been the January 4th show before. It was Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah, but they came out to this. It was like a tweet remix version of this, and it is the coolest thing ever. Also, this is just completely just like anything from like mid-80s Iron Maiden onwards. I'm all about
Mental. But so good at the same time.
So good. So I'm sorry, I think I've just stolen Sean and Joel's pick. Mainly my first two picks. I have ruined your days. I do apologise.
That's why we have 15 honourable mentions. Changing it on the fly.
Simon.
All right, so my next pick is one that I feel like surely, Owen, you have on your list somewhere.
I think it's in my honourable mentions.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so it is Hiroshi Tanahashi, but not Go Ace. That one annoys me. He's older
The
one.
high energy one.
Way better.
Yeah.
Way better. It's really cool. So when I started, watching New Japan, Tanahashi was the main guy, as he still seems to be. And this was the song you heard in the main events, and it's fucking cool. And then eventually, the great Marty Friedman version, where he just sort of didn't really play it. He just
Doesn't play the
whole
melody,
time.
he just shreds over the top of it for 5 minutes, and it was so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, a really good one. And again, it's sort of what you'd imagine when you think Japanese music.
And
you said,
Tanahashi with his
anime
air guitar.
It's the perfect song for him.
Yeah.
Can I just say, Go Ace, like his newer theme? It's sort of shit.
Wow.
That makes me... Look, I'm not
Because
gonna
when
lie,
he first debuted it, like in that video package when he was about to fight Naito, and it felt like Tanahashi was like in the story, he thought he was making a comeback, and he's like, in this song, people will cheer Go Ace to cheer me on.
Yeah.
But then he lost, so I thought it was like kind of a on purpose ironic thing that he's picked this new song, but he'll keep losing now.
Yeah.
But no, he just keeps winning, and it's not ironic at all. So it's just kind of shit now and weird.
Because the
Anyway,
the
I'm
guitar,
probably overthinking it.
the guitar, from a music standpoint, the guitar melodies in this song are absolutely insane. And like the dual harmonies going on, I'm all about it.
Yeah, it's a great song. I'm not disputing that at all.
Yeah.
Like it's better than Go Ace, 100%. And even as a song, like you could play this at well, it doesn't exist anymore, but you could play this at Bang in the Metal Room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you'd get a lot of the kind of weird 18-year-olds that think that they're cool because they've just discovered who Exodus are. Yeah, that's a shoot, brother. Would probably go, this is sick.
Yeah.
No, I'm all about it. It's a cool tune. Very cool tune. Joel, your number. We up to number 4.
We're up to number 4, and I'm going to contradict what everybody else has gone. Because again, Sean and I were talking, and we said, "What's the split? New Japan, All Japan." I've been watching New Japan for less time than you, Simon.
Okay.
I came into Japanese wrestling through Noah and FMW, and then like I've done with everything, you go back and look through all your back history and stuff.
Yeah.
So my number 4 is the Godfather of All Japan. It's Giant Bubba's music. Because of course it is.
Okay.
Well, I had a choice. So Steve Corino is one of my favorite wrestlers. That's not
People who know you know that.
People who know me know that.
Yeah.
And when he came to Australia, he had an All Japan mashup as his entrance music. And it was a couple of people who I'm not going to name because they may be on other people's lists, but it finished in Bubba's music.
Yeah.
And then I'd always associated that with Corino, and then went back through and went, fuck, this is an excellent song. So if I'm having a shitty morning and marching up Swanston Street on the way to work, it's this, 100%.
It sounds like a buddy cop theme song.
It's use it in the Next Man for Hire.
Crank it a bit.
Yeah. There's a lot
Oh,
of...
it's absolutely an 80s
It's a
sitcom.
buddy cop show.
And this is the great thing about All Japan and New Japan themes in that kind of late 70s, early 80s era. I forgot to bring it because I wasn't sure if there was a turntable here. I've got an IWGP.
Is this the one you brought in Japan?
Yeah, greatest hits vinyl, and it's got Bob Backlund's theme, Abdullah the Butcher, who else? Funks, and other people, and a lot of them, are just weird 70s and 80s cop movie
Disco funk kind of stuff.
It's so good. It's a dramatic turn because we think, Japanese wrestling themes, it's all guitars, it's all synths, it's just all crazy. But no, back in the day, it was like you could just go to the club and listen to it and get down with your best girl.
Get funky, yeah.
I reckon we're going to have to do an album review episode on that.
Yeah, we'll have to bring. Yeah, I reckon we could.
Because who the hell has a copy of it? Like, it's great.
Sean may have to be a returning guest again because we need a turntable.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Suck it, Triple H.
Sean,
Okay.
your 4th pick.
So my original 4th pick was Transmagic,
Yeah.
and that son of a bitch.
It still can be.
I said I'm okay with doubling up.
Absolutely.
because-
No, because-
Makes the cutoff easier. You
No,
know, we know what we're picking.
Okay, so I had to do a bit of movement on the fly.
Oh, okay.
The next one is also a important member of the All Japan roster. Stan Hansen.
Oh, good.
Speaking of buddy cop theme songs,
Yeah, you want just... It's almost like the music guys at All Japan have gone, he's an American.
Starsky and Hutch.
And cowboys and you listen to it and all you can think of is just, to me, I think every entrance of Stan Hansen coming out
that cowbell is just going rager right now.
so good. But coming out sometimes with the AWA World Heavyweight title that he stole off Vern Gagne and a cowboy hat on and a bull rope with a cowbell in the other hand.
It's amazing.
Not being able to see because he was shoot blind and needed glasses thicker than this microphone. Just throwing it around as he came to the ring. Just fearing for people's lives. And I fucking love it.
People wonder why Japanese crowds clap all the time, along to the music, because there's shit like this, and it just makes you want to vibe along all the time. No, again, it's like Sharp, but way better as a theme song. I'm all about it.
But yeah, it to me this is, quintessential 1980s. Just, that when you hear this, you go, oh yeah, this is a lovely track. This is going to be a nice, fun wrestling. No,
he's going
to beat the shit out of you.
no, fuck you. This is King's Road.
It's funny watching the highlights of him or watching old matches. It's usually without entrances or I've skipped them. I never would have thought that Stan Hansen's music is that.
Yeah.
And that good.
It really changes things.
Now, we're up to number 3, aren't we? Number 3. I'm kind of losing track of what numbers we're at. I'm just kind of absorbing all the fun that is this little show and tell situation going on. My number 3, again, is a wrestler who I've discovered in the past year or so. I'd say discovered, but he's been around for many, many years. The look on your face is amazing. He is, obviously he's touted as one of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. He's one of the 4 pillars. And
You might be stepping on toes here.
we have eaten at his restaurant.
Oh, good.
Yeah! Toshiaki Kawada and his entrance theme starts off something like a Freebird-esque kind of vibe going on. But then it kicks in to what else? But shredding guitar solos. It's all I care about.
I'm learning something about Owen tonight.
What is it?
You like shredding guitar
Yes! Yeah!
Just figured that out.
and shit mum wigs, but for another G1 at another time.
This song is very cool though. I feel like it's like a running theme with mid '90s Japan was the fact that it just makes you. I guess entrance songs make you want to get pumped anyway.
Yeah.
But this makes you so pumped up.
Well, this is the thing, and out of the 4 pillars, it was more Misawa Kobashi as far as the iconic entrances of Japanese wrestling of that time. And if it's not on anybody else's list, I'll be shocked. Because I know we're gonna get there. We're all gonna have a certain one as number 1, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Holy War, again, when we got told we were doing this, I went back and ran the 4 pillars. I went, fuck, I forgot how good of a song.
It's a sick song, yeah. Hello, Sean.
I'm going to save my discussion on this for later.
Okay. Have I
Also, fuck you.
stolen another one of your things?
Hawko's doing more editing to his list now.
Simon.
All right, number 3. This is another pretty recent one, again, from my time of watching, but one I love every time it comes on. You were mentioning clapping during entrance themes. This song is a damn good one for it. It is Kushida's theme song, or the Time Splitters theme before that. I fucking love this song.
It's so
much.
cool.
And then pairing it with the video that shows him growing up and then into the the racing
He
stuff. It's
debuted
so
a new
good.
video the other
It's
day,
so
didn't
good.
he? On
Yeah,
Sunday,
they mentioned that. He had a
they
new
debuted
video.
a new video.
And and his horrible attempt at that hoverboard.
Yes.
It was but the song's still cool.
It's a very cool song.
It's good.
I think there was Wrestle Kingdom 10 where it was the Time Splitters.
Him and Shelley when
Him and
they
Shelley.
had the actual car.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
sick.
and the fact there was the massive build up, and this starts playing, and out comes the DeLorean. Like, fuck, that's cool.
Yeah, it's again, because of that entrance, it has that extra time to build to a cool entrance.
And
Not his shitty skateboard from the other night, but
They could have at least painted it like a hoverboard.
I know it was just
But you got to try things.
That's true.
And what better place to do it at the third biggest show of the year for your company?
Yeah.
I'll try going on a hoverboard tonight, fellas. Okay.
But yeah, a great song, always inspiring. It gets you pumped.
And it was
up.
kind of
It's good.
cool when you hear it get played, especially at Festival Hall this year on the.
That was fun. Look, I popped like mad.
Yeah, because you're a huge Kushida guy. Aren't you?
Yeah, I am, because I love him, and he brought cred to the junior belt, and he headlined so many shows in the last few years.
Yeah.
I don't know if underrated is the word for him, but I feel like underappreciated, or-
Overlooked.
Underappreciated.
Yeah. Or for fans who are just getting into it, not that I'm some, expert or whatever, but I feel like for fans who have just got into New Japan in the past couple of years, they sort of overlook him.
I think
Even though he's been a big part of it and so many great matches.
Kushida needs more credit for saving the junior division from,
Obscurity.
fucking Taguchi.
Yeah.
Or them's fighting words. Mate.
The Marty Jannetty of Apollo 55.
Wow.
Oh.
Fight me. The thing is, though, Kushida was one of the first people to come back and go, hey, this is a legitimate division, and compared to what the Bucks were doing in the junior tag division, which is basically we're going to do flips, not have psychology because we didn't read that book, and then do all the crazy stuff. A lot of Kushida's matches weren't junior matches.
Yeah.
They were slow, methodical, very kind of original strong style matches, like looking for takedowns, looking for submissions, things like that. He wasn't a high flying junior, and definitely underappreciated.
Also, just quickly, super exciting news if we're talking about Kushida, and friend of the show, first guest of the show, Adam Brooks. He's wrestling Kushida very soon.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's
Rev
next
Pro, yeah.
week.
Next weekend, yeah.
Rev Pro.
At Rev Pro
Yep.
in England, so I cannot wait to see that match because surely that's going to be an absolute cool.
I saw that announcement. I was like, that's
I was
fucking
so
cool.
excited. Yeah, I
it's
was
so good.
super stoked for that one.
No, he's going to kill it, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be grass. Joel!
Well, my number 3 originally was Megumi Kudo, One Way Hard, Fuck You Owen. But again, changing things on the fly, it's what Sean and I are good at. So my number 3, I love FMW. It was the first Japanese wrestling I ever got into in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So my pick is also from FMW. No, it's not Wild Thing. It is Jaro and Gato, Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. Hongi edition.
How good's that? See?
Oh.
This has made my day.
And this is the thing. A lot of people, and I had the same sort of thing when I was showing my brother, because he's getting into New Japan stuff, and I'm like, hey, let's sit down and watch Super J Cup 94 and 95. And he's like, okay, sit down. Out comes Gato, who has a blonde undercut, is a lot heavier than what he is today.
Yeah.
No beard. And I'm like, that's Gato. He's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, look at his t-shirt. And they had the best t-shirt in pro wrestling. Fuck you, we are Jado and Gato. And that kind of boggles a lot of people's minds when they're getting into it, because they just think, Gato's bandana, beard, Rainmaker.
Come on, cuz let's go, yeah.
That sort of stuff. But no, they were probably the best junior tag team of the 90s.
And proper hard asses too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm so happy you chose this.
Look, I had to work with it. You pulled Kudo really, really early. I'm like, man, she's like my second favorite deathmatch wrestler ever. Yeah, alright, screw it. I'm going.
No, very good choice. I'm all about this one. Sean.
All right, my number 3 is a purely sentimental pick.
Okay.
Mainly after what happened and probably, especially after the G1 last year, with the greatest promo, I'm Alive. That is all. It's Takeover by the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata. Just a song that, it's nothing flashy. It's got an okay solo in it, but it's really just the type of song that really sums up Shibata as a wrestler. Nothing flashy, but it's, solid.
Yeah.
And it's going to hit you pretty hard. And, Shibata's probably, underappreciated in the same vein as Kushida. Like, there's a lot of amazing matches that he's had that people go, yeah, but he's not doing anything now.
Yeah.
He's fucking running the LA dojo. There's guys from Australia who have trained with him, which is the sickest.
Yeah.
And I think, if he comes back, awesome. If not, we've got the Goto match.
Yeah, the Goto match and the Tana match.
Yeah.
And the Ishii match. as
Ishii
well.
match
That
is-
fucking Ishii match.
And the final match.
Yeah.
The Okada match was
The-
just ridiculous.
that headbutt.
even excluding that, the match was fucking great
Yeah.
anyway.
The headbutt, just the sound that made.
Oh, it's sickening.
Horrible.
But what I love most, like that little clean guitar, like has it's all this awesome, like kind of like an oi punk song, like this part right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the start's this beautiful, like melodic guitar. And when that played at the G1 final last year, and you just heard these like kind of like these shrieks of like
Holy
just
shit.
emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone was like losing it, and then he walks out, and you just see people just. I was watching that at work, and I just started crying.
Yeah.
Like it was just one of those
I
moments.
think we all did.
Yeah, it was just easily one of those moments for a lot of people. But no, good choice. I do love that song quite a bit. You go all right sometimes with your choices of.
All right, Owen, you're number 2.
Yes, I'm pretty happy with this choice.
Wild thing?
No, it's not. I don't think this is on anyone's list, so I'm not stepping on any toes. It's a wrestler I've loved watching for a long time. Again, so I was watching a lot of his matches a few years ago before I really dove into FMW. We've mentioned those said letters a lot in this episode. I feel like
Their music was the best.
it was the best, and especially this song. Hayabusa's song is easily, quite possibly, one of the best entrance songs of all time. Again, if you're talking about riding a tiger with wings over a mountain, this is the song you want to listen to when you do that.
The thing is, though, there's a beauty about it that really, really had
It's so emotional.
a narrative dissonance with the violence that was about to happen.
Yes.
Especially with a lot of his barbed wire matches. You hear this match and you hear this play and you go, fuck, this is so beautiful. And then you watch two guys get close to murdering each other
Yeah.
for 35 minutes.
It's
And
like when you watch his match with Anita, and it's a fucking, it's an electrified cell, and this plays. Oh, this is super emotional. Kind of, I guess it's a precursor to what's about to happen.
Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing that Guy Ritchie used in Snatch and Lock, Stock, having a nice 70s punk music like Golden Brown playing, and something horribly violent is happening, and you go, "Oh, that's nice."
But that guitar melody is just it's so inspiring. You can kind of hear the emotion in it, and then as you said, it's this guy comes out, he just fucking throws his body around the ring, gets horrifically cut up, and honestly, one of the first wrestling deaths I cried over.
Well, you were talking about the emotion behind music, and when Takeover hit at G1 last year and Shibata came out. I'm Alive, that is all. The clip from about 8 months before Hayabusa passed away, where he walked for the first time since he broke his neck.
Yeah.
Again, same thing. I was standing at a bar, like I was working, I was bartending, I was watching on my phone, bawled my fucking eyes out because that music hit and like he stood up for the first time. Like Hayabusa is one of my favorite fucking wrestlers.
Yeah.
You guys were with me for 10 days trying to hunt down Hayabusa merchandise, and I got my little mask that sits on my Darryl and it sits in the corner of my room, and I'm fucking wrapped.
Yeah,
but yeah, like that track is everything that is FMW. I mean, he
Yeah.
was FMW. The company closed 6 months after he broke his neck because they lost their ace.
Yeah, like as I said to you the other week when we were chatting, there's a hour and a half video on YouTube. It's like his 3 matches to get to Mr. Ganasuke. Which is one of like when that was the dual championship match.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he beats and like the match with Mike Awesome at Corrigan is just one of the most insane. Like I will try and link it somehow. That match is fucked. To lack of a better term, that match is fucked.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. Like, because I've been going back and watching a lot of 2000s WCW because I hate myself. I literally want to feel pain every night. That. You know, you watch Mike Awesome and, you know, the fat chick thriller into that 70s guy.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, that's all they know Mike Awesome as.
Yeah.
But you go back to, you know, his FMW stuff, he was the fucking man.
Yeah.
You know, like, he was probably the first heavyweight gaijin in that 1990s period not named Scott Norton.
Yeah.
Who was a legitimate badass.
Yeah.
Like, harkening back to people like Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
Like, Awesome's fucking...
Plus the size too. He's a fucking mammoth of a man.
Well, he changed heavyweight wrestling. He was the first guy to do... Like, he did the Undertaker tope, you know, 4 years before the Undertaker did it.
Yeah.
Who since has done power bombs off the top rope regularly.
Yeah.
Like, nobody. The way he wrestled against Hayabusa, Tanaka, all those kind of guys, it changed heavyweight wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Though that's another thing I probably could have put in. It's definitely like it'll be in like it's like an honorable mention on my list somewhere. Like he's
Awesome bomb.
no, he's the
his
FMW theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool song. Anyway, many tangents are being said on this show. Over to you, Simon.
I feel like we're going to stay in a similar space because it's what Hawko just picked. It is Shibata's
The Shibata,
theme.
yeah.
Because for me, he's one of my favorites. And to me, the song... Like, again, it was weird watching it before there was English commentary. It was sort of just piecing together the stories from the videos and, like, the hype videos. And from researching, I figured out, you know, Shibata left the company. He came back. You know, some people weren't happy about it. And I feel like the song always suited that story, too. Because it was a little bit somber and a little bit serious the way it would come, you know, kick off. He was always serious coming to the ring. So the music always fit him. It is perfect. And again, every theme song doesn't have to be fucking shredding guitars all the time.
Yeah.
I think, you know, American wrestling has fallen into that for like the past 20 years as well. But yeah, it's good to see that one plus a few of these other ones. You can have something aside from that and it can still be good. You know, not every theme song has to start with someone saying their catchphrase or something cool. It can start soft and quiet.
Apart from Takamichi.
There goes my number one.
Takamichi Noki's music.
Taka is coming, motherfucker.
Very good.
But yeah.
I love it. Was very. That's very. Like, pretty much that sums up like what we said as well when we were talking about that a couple of minutes ago. But yeah, it was as we said. It was like it adds much like Hayabusa theme. Like that first 30 seconds is like it's pure emotion.
There's so many parallels between the two of them, though. Like Shibata and Hayabusa.
Very weird, like life parallels. As
Yeah,
well.
and like it didn't really click to me until we've sat here and done the lap of the table a couple of times.
Yeah.
But just as they were getting to their peak,
Shit happened.
Shit happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see. You know, touch wood. Hopefully, Shibata gets to come back and wrestle again.
Even one match.
But if that doesn't happen, it'll be interesting to see how he's viewed 5, 10, 15 years down the track. Like now, Hayabusa's last match was 17 years ago. Yeah, that makes me feel old. Makes Sean feel even older. But looking, 10 years down the track, is Shibata going to be the guy that kept Strong Style alive?
Yeah.
You know, like who knows how he's going to be looked at.
Yeah. Well, Joel, continue talking because it's now up to you.
I will continue talking. Back to Strong Style. We've talked a lot about the 4 pillars of heaven, and that was, for those of who don't know, who kept All Japan Pro Wrestling alive through the late 80s, early 90s, all the way up to the year 2000. The other side of that is the Three Musketeers, who were the three men who kept New Japan up during the same period.
Yeah.
My number 2 is someone whose music we got to hear live because his son uses it now, and we
shit.
his son uses it now,
yeah.
and we were at Big Japan, and we didn't know he was on the card, and we freaked the fuck out.
Now
So
it
my
clicks.
number 2 is Shinya Hashimoto, because similar to Shibata's music, starts off real somber and kind of official, and then drops into just the most intense "I'ma kick your fucking face off" music you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah.
I remember the reaction, just like the complete emotional losing of our shit that Sean and I had.
I remember that, yeah.
And like that's
This part here is
Yeah.
so sick.
the thing is, so wrestling nerds will sit there and go, "No, Four Pillars of Heaven." Meltzer gave them 5 stars, so obviously they're better. I think they're both in equal footing.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Three Musketeers put an entire company on their back and also had to deal with Antonio Inoki, who was shoot crazy.
Still is.
Like, and looking at the matches that Muto and Hashimoto had were fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really, really interesting things that those three did that is just as good, if not sometimes better, than the Four Pillars.
Well, up until, what, early November, mid-November last year, Hashimoto was the longest reigning IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Correct.
For a fucking reason, too.
Exactly.
So,
as much as the flares are probably more just like a new fashion statement because it's been hanging about in Harajuku too much, a little part of me sits there and goes, Okada's got the flares because Hashimoto had the flares.
We had that discussion while we were in Japan. We went.
Yeah.
He pipped him for the reign, and the next title match he came
was
out with the
wearing
flares,
pants. Yeah.
and it was like that's the cheeky nod to Hashimoto.
that was the rubbing it. Yeah.
And
I like pants, though. Pants are good.
Pants Carter is best Carter.
Yeah.
There's a great video. I'll try and find it to link on the Facebook page for you guys. It's like a history of New Japan in a whole, and there's
Oh god, it's a good video.
it's such a great video, and it's just like a 24-minute long music video. But there's some shots from the Hashimoto Memorial Show where Chono and Muto come out, and behind them's a photo of Hashimoto.
I think I may have seen
And
this.
it's just fucking beautiful. you kind of almost burst into tears, crying like a small child, but no. Fuck yeah, strong style.
Yeah, fuck yeah, strong stuff.
Japanese wrestling's just the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Sean!
All right. So we've had Muto. We've had Hashimoto.
What you Nuggets gonna do?
Now I had to try and figure out which version.
Okay.
Because they're all the same except the intros. Of course, I'm picking Crash for Masahiro Chono. But NWO Japan used it with really, really terrible NWO. And then Team 2000, who were the best, used it and had some less than stellar language at the beginning, which I don't think you can play on air.
I'm sure we can play it.
Nuggets. But no, this song was always to me really great because Chono had the role of the final boss of New Japan. Hashimoto was the ace. But when this played, especially in the Onita versus Chono barbed wire match,
Yeah.
Onita comes out, Wild Thing's playing, he doesn't give a fuck, takes out a cigarette, sits down, just lights it up, zero given. This starts playing. Out comes a Hummer. Chono's smoking a cigar. He gets out and you go, oh, this motherfucker means business. Like, Chono to me was always the guy who... He was never the best wrestler.
Yeah.
He was never, he was never going to be the guy that you would put a company on his back. But he was always the best antagonistic heel. Joining NWO Japan and like forming that was a stroke of genius because at that point there really wasn't any gaijins in New Japan.
Yeah.
There were a couple, in the lower card, but having this predominantly Gaijin. This was Bullet Club before Bullet Club.
Yeah.
You got people like Scott Norton, NWO Sting, even some of the NWO came over, and that was so good, and it was all off Chono.
Yeah.
Because he was such, as I said, the final boss. He was just a big, scary, evil-looking motherfucker.
Again, just quickly, musically speaking, Ingwe Malmsteen worship in this song, and I'm all about it.
100%.
It sounds like everything off Odyssey, and it's the fucking best.
This is almost like that Death Clock skit where they record Squizguard jumping out of a plane so
Yeah.
they can get the best tone, and he's just shredding for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
To me, that's what this
Pretty much
is like.
it.
Yeah.
And then the guy mimicking the same thing on the piano is the best thing ever. It's glorious. So I didn't really...
Do we want to do honourable mentions before we get to number one?
It's up to you.
We'll just list them, I think. We won't
Yeah,
actually
we won't play them.
Yeah. My list of honourable mentions include... Tanahashi's high energy theme. Okada's... I guess it's not his current theme. Like the one he used like a month ago.
Rainmaker.
The Rainmaker theme. Like the Okada
The new
theme.
one's a bit of a banger.
The new one is absolutely fantastic, by the way.
I like the new one more.
I love the new one. It's very
He's-
good.
It
the one
adds-
before was good, but it was never like, I don't know, never felt like one. If he didn't use it, you probably wouldn't think that highly
Yeah.
of it otherwise felt.
This new one adds to that whole midlife crisis
Yeah.
Okada
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, hey, I've dyed my hair and I'm listening to cool music, kids.
Another one,
Hey.
another one of my Yuji Nagata.
Oh,
one,
yeah,
yeah,
good one.
we're just Shibata, Liger, and the original Tiger Mask theme song. Because if we're talking about buddy cop songs, Tiger Mask is a buddy cop song.
Kitty Tiger Mask Force.
Yeah.
And three.
So they're a couple of my honourable mentions.
Okay,
Simon?
for me, I can't give that many because, again, it's sort of newer to this.
Yeah.
I did want to say, I don't know if it can even count as a real theme song, but hey, Chris Jericho uses Judas in Japan, and it's not
Yeah?
a bad
It's
No,
a
song.
good song.
I pay that.
I buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy Jericho's reasoning that it makes a good entrance song. He's like it looks cool when he's walking out to it, but the lyrics don't really suit
Oh no, he
going to a fight. I don't know.
he said that he used it to try and break into the Japanese music market. It's the fucking
Absolutely.
perfect way to do
What
it.
a worker.
He
What a
just,
guy.
just
Yeah.
run out the clock and let the whole song play. So I appreciate that.
It's brilliant.
I'll give him a mention for that one.
Joel,
My honourable mentions, I'll bash through these really quickly. Ones that we already covered were Hayabusa, Shibata. I think we touched on Wild Thing by X. So Onita's music, which is good. We've all talked about wrestlers' theme songs,
Yeah.
but I'm going to put two actual promotion songs up. The FMW theme song,
Yes.
because it's the fucking best, and because you gave me shit about this in person, fuck you. The Global Honored Crown music.
I did give
The
you.
GHC title. Yeah, because me and Short almost burst into tears when it hit, and you're like, hey, is this the coolest thing ever? Like, shut the fuck up, Owen.
It is the coolest thing ever. It is the coolest thing ever, and I love how emotionally attached you guys are.
Oh,
to
it was
it.
unbelievable.
So for those who don't know, the main title of Noah has its own song,
Correct.
and they play it at the start of every title match.
Yep. So New Japan has the International Wrestling Grand Prix, the IWGP,
Yeah.
and Noah has the Global Honored Crown, the GHC.
Yeah.
GHC heavyweight title has its own music, and it hit. And me and Sean lost our shit collectively.
Sean,
So, some of mine, I also have the GHC title music because, fuck you, 14-year-old me watched a lot of Noah and didn't talk to girls. So, I don't care. Also, continuing the theme of non-wrestling themes, the Wrestle Kingdom music is fucking great because I love it when they release the video like 2 or 3 days before, and that music plays, and it's like main event. And I'm like, fucking cool.
and then you hear it in Tokyo Dome, and you're like, whoo!
Yeah, exactly. Other ones I had were Ishii's theme because there's a really cool interlude in there. That's like just after the sitar part. That I'm like, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I heard it a lot at this year's G1, and I'm like, no, this is a good song.
It's cool.
Nakamura's music,
Subconscious.
Subconscious,
Okay.
purely for the match he had with Tanahashi after Marty Friedman played him in. Nakamura's like, cool, you got a guy from Megadeth. I've got strippers, motherfucker. And has a stripper pole dancing on him because he's the coolest man on the planet. Blue Justice.
Yep.
And also, this was going to be number one, but then I also remembered he's legitimately crazy. Inoki's theme, Inoki Bomaye. Because and this will be another video to find. The video of Inoki
so beautiful
being led into the crowd on like I think it's a coffin or something like that. He had a live funeral for himself and people are carrying it while Inoki's music's playing and they're all like, yeah. And he nearly slips and falls like 10 times.
That's amazing.
Inoki's a legitimate insane person and I fucking love him.
I haven't seen that.
It's great. Also, can I give dishonorable mentions?
Can I give... I forgot
go.
one honorable mention. Hiroki Goto's music is fucking sick, and I completely forgot about it until just then.
It fits him.
It's so great. The whole like epic orchestral thing, love it. Dishonorable mention.
Just wanted to say, no one in the Bullet Club has good music. Their music is garbage.
I beg to differ.
I really, really don't like the vibe or anything.
Yujiro's music's great because it's like sex music.
Yeah, the entrance is good.
Muddy School's music's pretty good because it.
Okay, his one is pretty good.
Yeah, because it's almost like his Machine Gun music he used at Progress because it's got that kind of like weird, sinister music. No, but everyone else is garbage.
Yeah. If we're talking Kenny and the Bucks and even Cody's music, that like terrible WWE music band.
It was done by Downstate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was about to say, was it done by Downstate?
It actually was.
And they've done the official theme for All In as well.
Yeah, but that's from me. I hate Ziggler and Miz's themes too because they're the same song, and now Cody's is the same
Downstate
song.
in general.
Yeah, it's like here's a Downstate song. Yeah.
Alrighty. We've gone over an hour. We still have like half another show left.
Jesus.
I'm very excited. But so I didn't really rank these. I just kind of like put five together. So this has somehow turned out to be my number one. But listening to it for over the past few days, I reckon I can kind of justify it as being my number one. You guys are gonna. You guys, you don't.
I'm gonna Inoki bitch slap you.
I can Shibata bitch slap him. It's gonna work.
I mentioned
Use
this
the right
wrestler
arm.
before having a match with someone that I mentioned. The Mr. Ganasuke themes entrance song.
That's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut, and like again,
I like this.
it's so cool.
I was super concerned coming into this that Sean and I were going to be like way too abstractly hipster, and Owen drops his number one. The guy no one outside of this room has heard of.
I've never heard this song.
It's a really cool song. Like it's as I said, I didn't really rank them 5-1. I just kind of gone here's five I really like. I can't really like split them, but I listened to this over the past few days. This is sick.
Yeah.
This is straight up a sick song. And when you see a badass motherfucker like Mr. Ganasuke walk to the ring, it suits him.
So anyone who doesn't know what Mr. Ganasuke looks like, he's about 5.5 feet tall, built like a fridge, with a black beard and long peroxide blonde hair, and just covered in scars in black karate pants.
Yes. And as I said, watch his match with Hayabusa, because it is fucked
The
up.
one where he shanks Hayabusa in the stomach with like the table leg?
Yes.
I'm not paraphrasing, it's the best match ever.
I'm gonna watch that song.
But again, I think I might as well.
So
again,
good.
epic like prog metal, like a super like harmonized guitar solo, but it's awesome. I'm all about it. I know I probably won't rank that high in our overall list, but I'm pretty stoked with this one being at the top of my list. I'm a big fan. And also the reaction you guys just gave me was pretty sick.
Because we honestly both thought it was going to be something else, and I'm very happy it
What did you
was.
think it was going to be?
You'll see.
Okay. Well, as I said, I'm stoked with that one. It's a good choice, I believe. Simon.
Okay, my number one. It's for the song itself, but also, I guess, for me as a fan, this is like the wrestler who made me a Japanese wrestling fan to follow it full time. Shinsuke Nakamura's theme, Subconscious. I still think it's one of the greatest themes, full stop.
Yeah.
And then combined with the entrance, all of his mannerisms, blah, blah, blah. You watch it happen, and it was perfect. Always perfect. And I remember when he jumped to the WWE, my number one question is like, he can't take the music. He's fucked. Like, what's he going to do?
It's such a sick song.
I will say, the new song is really cool. I was there for his NXT debut, and I was like, like hipster. I'm like, surely this can't be as good. And I was like, It's almost as good. But yeah, soft spot in my heart for Subconscious. I think it's fucking
There was
good.
a great thing on Reddit that I saw like when Nakamura debuted, and it's like Subconscious is the intro song to like a Godzilla movie, and his new song is the credits song. So like it all kind of fits.
Yeah.
And it's a very, very, it was on my honorable mentions purely because, you know, it's great, but to me there's better, but no, still a fucking great track.
Yeah, and it almost stands out compared to some of the others because it isn't just like heavy metal guitar shredding. You know, there is the melody and it's super catchy and I guess combined with his entrance, it's a big part of it. I don't know if the rumors were true. Supposedly Glorious was meant to be his theme song and he was like, actually, no, let's do something else. And he gave him the idea for the new one.
That's so
maybe
good.
that's why
really
Rising
hope
Sun or
that's
whatever
true.
it's called is sort of, has a similar vibe and it does feel like its successor. But if they were honestly going to be like, oh, so that was your theme, here's Glorious. That's
Oh, and you need to
fucking
edit
insane.
that. Need to edit like a video of Nakamura coming out to Glorious.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, let's see what could have been. But
I'll
anyway,
make it happen.
Subconscious is the shit.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I'm a big fan of that one.
I'm a big fan of it too.
Joel,
My number one.
I'm not surprised.
No, I know you're not. I don't think anyone in this room is. So, I fell in love with Japanese wrestling, like well over a decade ago. And there were two guys who made me fall in love with it. It was Kenta, who's now Hideo Itami. So fucking happy he's wrestling Marufuji at the end of the month. I cannot
Are we going to
wait.
watch that as a group? I'm assuming we are.
Oh, of course, naturally. But the guy who I got into and then went and watched his entire back catalogue, which is how I learned about most of the theme songs on my list, is Mitsuharu Misawa. And Spartnex is, of course, my number one. Mad piano intro.
Sick
into-
piano intro. Again, it's one of those songs that builds with like an epic intro, and then it comes in and just kicks you straight in the dick.
Yeah. It's just like a train building up speed. It's super similar to me to like Bret Hart's WWF music.
Yeah.
That's just got that rhythm to it that's just fucking addictive.
Yeah.
And he was the best. Ever. And anyone who disagrees can fight me.
It's a very cool song. It reminds me of like very like, and this isn't just me like shoehorning in my other interests. It reminds me of a Power Rangers intro song. It sounds like it would suit well as like an anime or a Power Rangers intro.
Yeah.
And I'm super okay with that. It's a very, very sick song. This little groove here is really cool.
Yes.
I think it's one that like we always listen to in the car somehow whenever us three are on road trips.
It's mostly on a road trip playlist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's an inspiring song. I can see how that will keep you awake. driving.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Sean.
Oh,
Hello, Sean.
rounding out the number ones.
Rounding out the number ones, and then we have to bring it home and try and rate.
I'm a little scared of what his number one is, because if it's not what I think it is, we have overlooked something really horrendously, because we all out tried to hipster ourselves. But the floor is yours.
All of you bitches better recognize the one God Emperor that is Tai Chi! Yeah! No, not really.
Oh, okay.
We said there was going to be bloodshed, and it's because of that. I was
Tai
just-
Chi for G1 2019. He's the fucking best.
Fun song.
him and
Great
his-
entrance,
him and
though. We
his-
should give
him
him
and
an
his
honorable
flabby
mention.
It's so funny because he I don't know if he's miming it or not, because he'll hold the mic here, but it doesn't look like he's moving the mouth.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're all allowed to like shitty wrestlers. Owen likes Tanahashi. No, my number one is a four-way tie.
What?
Them's not the rules.
That's not the rules?
We've already said two of them.
Yeah, your whole list has gone to hell.
Misawa. Kawada.
Oh, very good.
Okay.
Not bad.
Fuck, just all four pillars of heaven, but namely Burning, because that song is the fucking best. Yeah, no, it was so hard to pick one of the four, because Spartan X, I stole Spartan X for my music in my first match, and the
I remember
booker
that.
didn't know what it was. He's like, "That's a pretty sick song." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." He goes, "Motherfucker, is that Spartan X?" And I'm like, "Yeah, good rib." And he's like, "You're gonna have to change it for next show."
This is why we're best friends,
Yeah.
because of course I'm going to let you do that.
But burning kind of puts you in a happy,
Burning.
puts you in a happy frame of mind, and wants you to like give a thumbs up next to Mickey Mouse. I fucking love that photo.
I like this.
Yeah, wait for it.
Again, it's just one of those things that it starts out so tranquil. We're just jamming out in the studio,
Yeah.
by the way. That's why we're not talking.
When this played, when he came back, after the cancer surgery,
Oh,
fuck,
huge.
what a pop!
Yeah.
Like that, bigger than a Road Warriors pop, brother.
I took a day off work to watch Final Burning, like completely. And lost my shit when this hit.
Yeah.
Kenta Kobashi is the man. His chest is bigger than my hopes and dreams.
And only did the Burning Hammer a few times, you fucking marks.
Yeah, no kick out.
But 7 times.
7 times and no one kicked out of it.
Exactly.
Unlike people who use it as a transition move.
What, like the heart attack?
Oh, don't even get me started by that one.
Them's fighting words.
But no, I approve of this choice as our number one, as your number one. But now,
Not Taichi?
Not touchy.
no, fuck you.
Can I just say, before we rank these,
Yeah.
I'm really shocked nobody picked Suzuki's
I was
theme
just
song.
saying,
I
like,
did everyone be like, nah, someone else will pick it,
That's
so I
what
won't.
I did.
That's how we did it.
because I knew he was either going to go Burning or Kazi Nina
I
Ray.
was going to put it in my list,
And
and
I'm
I
just
didn't.
like, no, we all went, someone else is going to pick it. And now he's going to come back to Australia and fucking
On,
murder
gonna
it.
kill us
on my
all.
list, and I sent my list to Owen.
Hello.
It does say Kaze Ninae is godly though and beats everyone.
But just logically, do we have to put any double ups near the top? Because they've already been agreed upon.
Yeah, Shibata's.
This is true.
So
Shibata-
Shibata is 3 through 1.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, yeah, as far as votes tallied, I suppose.
Yeah.
Shibata is 2 or 3.
I've got
based
it.
on-
Yeah, I'd still fight for him to be near the top.
So maybe Shibata has
Damn
to go
good
in.
song.
He has to be in the top 5 somewhere then.
Well, I think Shibata would be 2 based on votes counted and where they were.
So
And then Megumi Kudo would be 3.
I'm happy with that.
Okay, yeah.
But so who's number 5? So Stan Hansen, we're going to go with number 5?
But
Well,
see,
okay.
then we have 18 songs to fit in 2 spots.
Exactly.
Start the argument.
That's why we should go with 10.
I'm happy to kill a lot of my songs. They don't have to get there. For me, it's just the top 2 that I would fight to make top 10. And that's
Okay.
Shibata and Nakamura's theme songs.
Okay.
I think Subconscious needs to be up there.
Yeah, absolutely. In the modern era of Japanese wrestling, that's got to be one of the most iconic.
So I feel like we have to do a 10.
I think we have to do
Okay,
a 10 as well.
let's
Sure,
do it.
all right. Out of all the themes we've picked, what's a good intro? Like, who's your opening match on the card?
Kushida. That song's really, really good, and everyone got into it when it played.
Yeah, I don't
like-
hate it.
See,
it's
I'd
lot-
go Kushida against Liger head to head.
I'm happy with that.
And it still stands out more than like some of the other ones. I know you guys have heard them more, but I feel like for me, having heard a lot of them for the first time, some of them do run together in that they're like just like very shreddy. Whereas
Yeah.
Kushida's one, from the intro and everything, it's
Okay.
really good.
To me, it's really like it depends. Are we going in terms of songs as themes or songs in general? Because if we're going songs in general,
Then Wild Thing wins. Fuck everybody.
then Liger's got to be in the top 3 because as a song, it's a fucking great song. Like
Yeah.
you could play that anywhere in any context and it would work.
Yeah.
But as a theme, I think it'd be 10.5. It's
Yeah.
just pipped at the post as a theme
Okay.
to Kushida. And
We-
it's not neglecting it by any stretch of the imagination.
We put Liger's theme pretty high in our overall
I know
favorite.
we did, yeah.
But that was favorite. So
Yeah.
you were being a bit biased because you love the song and the wrestler and the total package of the presentation.
Yeah.
Total package, yeah. Lex Luger's theme.
Oh, Lex Luger had a cool theme. He did. He really did.
I'm happy to go Kushida at 10.
I am too.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, 9. This is going to be a while.
Who wants to propose one?
See, I've already written my top 10. I've written the top 10 list in my head, kind of pulling notes and stuff.
Go for it.
Present it.
Present it.
Maybe
'Cause
we
we
can
might agree on it.
Yeah, we can agree on some of it.
So this is the 10 that I came up. This is the top 10, taking everyone on board and votes and stuff in my brain. 9 was Nakamura,
Subconscious.
Cool.
8 was Hashimoto. 7 was Chono. 6 was Muto.
Good.
5 was either Kawada or Liger. I'm leaning towards more Kawada purely because I'm a mark. 4 was Shibata.
Yeah.
3 was Kudo.
Cool.
2 was Misawa. And 1 was Suzuki, which is automatic.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to lie. I fuck with that hard.
That's a good list.
That's a really good
I feel
list.
like it's going to be close to that, even if we argue.
Yeah, we could argue this for half an
We
hour.
can
and come
argue
up
with
the
that.
same
We can
fucking
argue.
list,
I'm pretty
yeah.
happy with that, to be honest. I feel like everything
Is there anyone left off out of
That-
our collectives that we're like, nah?
Hayabusa is the one that I'd try.
Actually, he had
He's the
several.
That
one
was a good one.
Yeah.
He's the one that I'd swap one of them out. To put in
I'd
the top
okay,
10.
so
Okay.
who do you sacrifice? That's a not good choice of words, Joel. Well done.
I'd say Hashimoto, but I'd get burnt to the steak.
I think
I
Nakamura
don't
could be
find-
higher, just for me, but
You could pull Chono,
I'd be more inclined to pull Muto than Chono.
Oh.
oh, fuck you, that song's great.
No,
I like
no.
the
You
Muto
know
one.
what's better than that Team 2000?
Yeah, no, he's right.
Did Muto come to the ring in a Hummer?
No,
He didn't.
You're right.
But does that mean Hayabusa gets in somehow? Because
I said I'd then move everybody up one.
So Kushida goes to 9.
Kushida goes to 9, Nak is to 8, etc., etc.
and Hayabusa at 10.
Yeah.
And then Suzuki is overall by himself, clearly at the top.
Yes.
And then it goes Suzuki and then 1 through to 10. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's actually...
That works better than we don't have to bump Muto and save Sean getting butt hurt.
okay. Let's run through
Let's
it
run through it from
10
10 to 1 to Suzuki.
10, Hayabusa.
I dig it.
Kushida.
Yep.
Nakabags. Hashimoto.
Hashi bags.
Chono. Muto. Muto bags. Kawada. Shibata. Kudo. Misawa. And then a giant gap. And then Minoru Suzuki.
Yes.
I dig it.
Hilarious. No one even proposed it,
But
but, it was
It
assumed.
goes without saying.
If you don't close, you have to close the show.
Well, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to close the show with Kaze ni Nare, the greatest, most fantastical thing.
The not the new version.
Oh, no, not the 30th
It
anniversary.
sounds too much like fucking Bon Jovi. Which if Suzuki likes Bon Jovi, fucking more power
You're
to
not
Suzuki
gonna
just
tell
needs to
him.
lead
Yeah,
into it and
yeah.
use Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm super happy with that list.
Can I? That was people are going to listen and think we did this on purpose, and it was like a gimmick thing we did. Legitimately, I think everyone was actually going to pick it and really thought, "Nah, someone else
Well,
has
see,
picked it."
knowing the three of you so well, I'm like, you got to pick it. One
Yeah.
of you's got to pick it.
So numbers wise, if we all did pick it, overall it makes it.
well, I
number
had the
one.
chat with Owen
It
and went,
doesn't
fuck,
matter.
we're all going to pick Kaze. And I had the chat with Sean and went, fuck, we're all going to pick
And
Kaze.
that's what Owen said to me as well. So I was like, well, I won't bother. Yeah. Nice. Well, let's end the show with it.
Yeah, I'm more than happy with that top 10. I feel like this episode's gone. This is our longest episode ever, but with great reason. Thank you for listening all the way through because it's been a long one. But hopefully you've learned a lot of things about Japanese wrestling because we had these two guys on the show for a reason because they know a lot more about Japanese wrestling than I do.
Absolutely. I think we'll post the list and we'll post a bunch of links.
I'll make a YouTube playlist and I'll
That's a
post.
good idea.
I'll post it online so everyone can listen to these songs all the way through. Thank you to Sean and Joel for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
It was a pleasure.
Also, MCW
You
100
just
live
beat me
from
to
the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre
Tomorrow,
or Saturday the 17th of August,
The 18th.
18th of August.
It's not like
Tickets
you're running it or anything.
Tickets are still available. Please come and see them. It's going to be sick because we got Jonah versus Naito. Also, there's a song we forgot. Naito's theme's pretty sweet.
yeah, and especially when he turned the fucking Tokyo Dome into a green light rave party, which was the coolest thing I've seen in my lifetime with that laser show. Will Ospreay, he was on
Ospreay
Simon's
versus
5.
Oh, yeah,
He's
good
gonna be.
song.
It's gonna. You'll get to hear that song live if you come to the show.
Yeah.
But as I said, thank you boys for coming on. It's honestly been an absolute joy because I get to talk about Japanese wrestling and music with two of my favorite people. as well as one of my third favourite people. Simon, my co-host.
3 of your favourite people.
Yes, it's been a long
Some
day.
favourite people.
Some favourite
Him read
people.
code good.
Yeah. And if you run into Hawko or Joel at MCW, just argue about Japanese wrestling themes.
Yes.
And we'll tell you to go fuck yourself.
They won't be busy
We
at
will
all.
have too much shit to do.
That's what I want to happen. Just
Yeah.
fans being like, I didn't like your fucking pick of number 4. But
Do you know who Hashimoto is? No, then go fuck yourself. I got shit.
So you won't know what this kick looks like.
Well, we're going to end this on a absolute high note with the song that hasn't been played on the show yet because it wasn't on no one's list. But it is number 1. It is Kaze Ninare, the amazing theme song, entrance song for Minoru Suzuki. Simon, as always, it's been a pleasure
catch you next time.
as we rock you like a hurricane rider.
教えてよ人はなぜ探し続けるの限りなく切ない明日の夢を星だけが見つめてる悲しい夜には自分を確かめたくて君に口づけしたねずっと追いかけ続けた夢